Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a good day. So on that good note, I kind of want to bring a little bit of a downside to that. If you guys haven't heard, obviously I'm sure all of you guys know who YoungStatic is, the EF CRX king, we'll say, here on YouTube and the forums and such. So he ran into a bit of an issue. As you guys know, he's been doing the YouTube videos for like 10, 15 years. I don't even know at this point. I mean, I've been watching him personally for like 5 at least. So yeah, he's been around for a hot minute. I've been watching him since he was below where I'm at, up to where he is at 130K. But he ran into a bit of an issue. By the time this video goes up, I don't know if it's going to be resolved or not. But if you guys, if it is, awesome. Disregard this whole section right here. But if you haven't seen, his channel got hacked. And it was by some random, I don't want to say it was just a random person per se, like somebody like you and me that's just like, let's make it funny and just hack this dude's YouTube channel. It was more of like a Bitcoin type scamming type thing. There was live streaming on his channel. I don't know exactly what happened or how, I don't know, because usually you can set up multi-step verification, which I do have on my channel, and it's just like a Google safety security thing. And I hope it works. Hopefully that never happens to me. But basically, long story short, his channel got hacked. He was able to contact YouTube support, and they got the thing situated, but for some reason they terminated his account. Now, they didn't just suspend it or block it. They completely eradicated it, terminated it. And as far as I understand, usually with termination, the account is completely gone. There's no bringing it back. So yeah, I don't know, I want to put that guys out there because I wanted to kind of dedicate this little video here working on this EF as like a little hoorah for Static. Hopefully encourage him to not completely give up. He does have a second channel, which I will throw up here on the screen, the name of it. I don't remember it offhand. I subscribed to it last night, but here's his new channel, well, new in the time being, and go give him some words of encouragement. Go hit him up on Instagram, go leave comments and stuff, tell him not to give up, because we're all rooting for him. I know it's the most gut-wrenching, numbing feeling I can imagine, having 130,000 subs and all that time just down the drain in the blink of an eye because somebody just felt like screwing you over. But so this video is for Static. This is a obviously EF hatch. This is a customer of mine. This was the second turbo manifold I've ever built. Second one for a Honda, because my first one was for the DA guy. But he's back. We're making him a hood dump and a wastegate dump out the hood. Eventually he's going to come back, because this hood I can already see is full of Bondo and crap. So eventually he will come back and he will get a full exhaust done. But for now he just wants to get the car going. So we're chopping holes in this thing and we're going to send it home with some new piping. So let's get this thing pushed in and open it up, see what we're looking like. Oh yeah, I locked the door. So this thing does not run yet. It is currently waiting on a base map, which is half the reason it's here, because once I'm done and once base map is done, this thing's a ripper. I think that's the Neotech, whatever, that's sick. So, turn the key. Of course, ignition's locked. Oh wait, no, maybe that's just the wrong key. Try this one. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I just had the wrong key. Let's see if I can push this by myself. Oh, I'm gonna probably need both hands. So here's what we're working with. What is this, B16A? Yeah, so B16A. Yeah, just turbo setup, so nothing crazy, but you can tell this thing's gonna be just a little ripper. So this is, as you can see, manifold that I built. Well, let me focus you up so you can see the goodness. Yeah, so the only concern I have is He said it fit great when he tested it and everything. My only concern is the wastegate. I should have put the wastegate just a hair more this way, so there's a chance I may have to just ever so slightly modify that. But in the pictures he initially sent me when he installed this months ago, it looked like it fit. It was just super, super close to the head. But I've learned since then, and yeah, anyway, yeah, so dump pipe, just shoot it straight up. Wastegate, he's got it in the box. I'm gonna have to just bolt everything together. I believe he supplied a flange, and then I'll just make some pie cuts or something. And then since I did learn how to do the teardrop, we're gonna try and do a teardrop for him for the hood exit. Honestly, the hardest part I really think is just gonna be cutting the hood, because I really don't like doing that stuff. But yeah, let's just get cranking this thing out. All right, so I did goof actually on this manifold, and this is my fault entirely, but also in my defense, I did ask him if he could bring the car over for this since I didn't have anything to make it off of. But so the issue I'm running into is the wastegate doesn't clear the head entirely. So obviously it's supposed to sit like that, and although it looks like it does, to lean it all the way back, because there's a little bit of a gap on the back side, the ring is contacting the cylinder head here. So what I'm gonna have to do is slightly modify this end anyway, because this is kind of like in anticipation of doing a full exhaust. I didn't think to clearance or like rotate the flange another way. So this wouldn't work anyway. So he did have this piece, so I'm just gonna chop this up, use the flanges, and then I'm gonna not use this teeny tiny stainless pipe. I'm gonna use a piece of schedule manifold pipe, and then I'm gonna just kick the wastegate out and try and set the wastegate more over here per se, and then just kick it straight up out the hood, and that'll work for that. And then as for the downpipe, I got some pipe. Let's go start on that first. But like I said, that's my bad, and I feel really bad about it, because there's nothing worse than like the feeling of trying to make something and put your best intentions and efforts into it, and then something like that happens. So that's just like a learning mistake or a learning curve, but thankfully it is fixable. I just wish it didn't have to be fixable. And the kid didn't really have any complaints. He never told me anything, so hopefully he's not out like slandering my name like, oh, this guy effed up my manifold or something like that. We'll make it work, we'll make it look good. But anyway, here's the pipe. I don't have any just straight 90s, so I'm just gonna make a few pie cuts really quick. This is some pretty nice quality stainless, even though I've been letting it sit outside, so we'll have to clean that up with a frickin' Scotch-Brite. And then once we get our flange here, so you know, I taught you guys how to make pie cuts in the saw the other day. I'm gonna set the saw up, we're gonna do the same thing today. So we got enough pie cuts to get our 90. This is just a little bit extra in case, whatever. So those are all prepped. These are ready to start being tacked together. I just bolted the flange on. This back bottom bolt way down here does not want to go in straight. So I put all the bolts in because I've learned from past mistakes that just because two bolts line up doesn't mean the others will. So you have to put them in all loose. So I can go ahead, start kind of making the 90 and marking the angle of which I need it. So I'm probably just going to tack the 90 together and then rotate it where I need it on there. And then I'm going to go cut a teardrop really quick. I've done that twice now, so let's see if I can make a good third time one. And then we're going to prioritize the down pipe first, well, up pipe first, and then we'll move on to the wastegate situation. So let's go tack this together. Oh yeah, we got plenty of space here, so may have to, actually I'm gonna have to space it out from there a little bit. So I'm gonna go tack a few of these together to get a 90 and then see where we are space wise so we can still access this bolt here, because that one just about already became an issue, because we need to be able to get that. So yeah, but yeah, tack these together, move on. with that all tacked up now, this is what I'm going to be using to make the teardrop. So you can see, well, kind of see, I got a line there. Basically, to make the teardrops, you're cutting the long side of a 90-degree bend, and then you're just shaping it with the sander, as I've learned. So thankfully, my saw can turn into a vertical saw. I just stand it all the way up, lock the hydraulic arm, and then I have a little plate up there that I can just screw onto it. Not the best, but it does work good enough for what I need to. So let's go test fit this on the car quick. It's not too hot. Get you out of the noisy, get you away from the noisy welder so you can actually hear me. Let's test fit this, mark it up, and then hopefully we're good. Okay, so it's definitely super tight clearance already. So I don't have any space to do that. So it's definitely a tight fit. So because of the bulkiness of the pipe, because he did one 3-inch, I can't use these hex head bolts. I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some Allen head ones. So these ones, I can get the bottom ones out, but then I can't get these 2 top ones out when the pipe is actually like where I need it to sit, which is roughly like there-ish. And you can see it's super close to the radiator as is. So I think I should be able to take out one piece of pie here, which will help me get the angle I need away from the radiator, because the radiator can't really move. There's nowhere for it to go. So it's just a price to pay. So I'm sure he's gonna wrap it anyway. But yeah, so that's basically what we're looking like, and then just shoot it up, obviously. But yeah, I need space. So I need to use skinnier bolts, because this one mostly is gonna be my problem guy. This guy. So I'm gonna run to the store quick. All right, forget going to the store. I found a bolt, Allen head one, right there, or socket head, whatever you want to call it, cap screw, whatever it's called. But yeah, so that tight clearance, but I can at least do it now. So that piece right there kind of gets me. Oh, I'm trying to freaking zoom. So that piece there gets me where I need it to go, more or less. If you'll focus right there, thank you very much. Very tight, but gonna have to be heat wrapped, working with a confined space of an EF, as you guys very well know. Yeah, and then that piece right there is flat on the one side, as you can see. So got the pie on the one side, the flat on the other, because this was the end of the tube that I started the pie cuts on. So I can line that up where I need it to, and then I can shoot it straight up from there. So that's beautiful, fantastic. That came out sick. So I don't know if it's tall enough yet. I'm gonna try and figure out some sort of hood check situation. I mean, thankfully that's the easy part, is extending it up, because that's just adding a couple inches in between. So hard part's done, at least that part of the hard part. So I think I can probably tack it all up. Once I check the hood clearance. Yeah, I'll figure that part out now. It's all tacked up, nice and sturdy now. I'm gonna have to oversize the holes on the flange a little bit, because this is an eBay turbo, so the holes are just very slightly off. So only 3 of them like to go in comfortably, the other 2 want to go in a little off. So that's one thing I got to deal with, but it's where it's gonna sit nonetheless. So I don't really know a good way of doing this to mark the hood, so I'm just gonna put like some silicone along here, gently close the hood on it, and then try and find a rough center point and drill the hole for that with a big hole saw, and then shape it as I need to for this.
Well, that's not that easy. So the way I'm doing this, the silicone kind of worked, but the hood is so not flat, it was hard. So I had two little silicone parts here. I kind of took a good guess, drilled in the middle, rested the drill bit in there, shut the hood, used the light to shine through, and then squeezed my hand through the bumper part here and was able to mark on the tube basically where the drill bit is. So that's just about dead center of the pipe. So I'm just gonna measure the distance from here back and then transfer that to the hood that way, and then same thing that way, and do that. So because I know I'm basically center, I'm gonna just grab the 3-inch drill bit and or the 3-inch hole saw bit and probably just go to town on it, but I am gonna just double check my measurements and try and center the hole saw bit where it'll be good edge to edge on this side, and then I can shape up here with like a Dremel or something. So that's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. So it's cut. Eventually, I'm probably gonna recommend to him that he gets a little teardrop cutout, like little template things. Because I don't really have. I mean, I could probably try and make one, but I don't really know if he really cares that much. I don't know. I'll ask him. But so the downpipe is good. Now I can pull it off. I am going to extend it up probably about an inch, inch and a half. And then it's good to go ahead and weld it. All right, I extended it a few inches, probably about an inch and a half. So that's sitting perfect. So I do have to trim just a hair more. I'm gonna just use like a flap disc and clean that out a bit. I'm just waiting for the battery charge. So in the meantime, I'm gonna start working on the wastegate. This is all tacked together, ready to go, minus the O2 sensor bung, which I'll just mark that out really fast. But otherwise, that's all ready to go. Got the wastegate already figured out. Well, at least the placement of it. So let me show you really quick. So I just used a schedule 1090 and clocked it this way, and obviously I just checked for hood clearance and it clears pretty mint, so got plenty of room. So I can go ahead, I can tack this up more, and then all I have to do for the dump is run it straight up, so that's super easy, and I'm happy with that. And then he has a really stubby dipstick, but he can still get access to the dipstick down here. It is tight with that center manifold nut, but he can definitely get it out like that. May not want to do it while it's super hot, but I mean, price to pay for having such a compact setup for real. But this is good. Also, I'm going to tack these nuts on because this is a nut and bolt right here. So I'm going to weld these nuts into place so that way he can just use the bolt portion of it. And then I am going to swap to Allen head ones, or I'll tell him to swap to Allen head ones. That way it's super easy to get a tool in there, because right now I don't know if that tool is going to necessarily fit. Might have to have the nuts welded on to the cast and then put the bolt head on this side so it's much more easy to access. Finally got the wastegate situated, so just like I said, pretty much straight up. I just put a little piece of pie to kind of correct it a little bit because it's slightly angled, but yeah, now it clears decently. So, well, bam. And then it's just a hair higher than that, so if, I don't know, I might trim it down just a hair, but honestly I think it's fine as is. As fate would have it, I got about halfway through the downpipe, looking really good because I'm purging it and stuff. Getting all the colors in there and like, just looking fantastic. But I'm out of gas, so I'm gonna go run down to the welding shop quick before they close, because it's like 3 o'clock, I think they close at 4. And I think I'm gonna upgrade to the next size up, which is like the big boy. I don't know how I'm gonna carry it in here by myself, but I'm tired of running out so fast, so I need to upgrade. Finally all done, and it turned out minty. I'm stoked. I'm very proud of myself on this one. Yeah, all back purged, everything's all Super solid. Just finished kind of deburring the inside of that because of a little tear I had in there that I had to weld shut. So wastegate stuff all good to go. Yeah, dump. It's all good, so I can bolt it up on the car and we can wrap this thing up. So the downpipe warped super far inboard. It definitely moved like a solid 1/8 inch. So I just had to cut out the gap that was between the two. So it's all good now. Everything still fits. It's just super tight clearance over there now. But yeah, I mean, I knew stainless, you know, sucked in. I just did not think it sucked in that much. So lesson learned next time, either clamp it down somewhere, which I really can't do, or just weld all the outside joints first before I do the inside right there. But nonetheless, it's all done. I'm gonna take some final photos, clean up the area really quick because it's got metal shavings everywhere, and yeah, send this thing off. Alright, I am tired from pushing the thing out there, so we're all finished up. I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10 on my stoke factor on the car, on the work or whatever. So, I mean, if I would have known that it was going to warp so much, I would have taken that into more consideration. But overall, I'm pretty stoked with it. And then, I mean, cutting the hood could have turned out a little bit better, but that stuff ain't easy. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And if you're new to the channel, hopefully you've considered subscribing. I gotta finish sweeping off the driveway here, getting these little metal shavings out of the way so I don't roll them over. But if you want to help support the channel, the best way to do so is liking, commenting, subscribing especially. And I also have a big cartel where you can buy some merch, and that really helps support the channel. So anyways, guys, do what you love, think about the rest, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.